Have you ever really wondered who benefits from your hunger? In the new Gumball spin-off, episode 1 starts with Miss Simeon demonstrating how fast food is bad for your heart.
Are you sure about this?
Oh yes, it's for the good of the children.
But it spirals into something darker. Darwin and Gumball can't find healthy food, their only avocado rots on contact with air, and when they try to grow their own, a megacorp burns it down because they own the seed. This may seem crazy until you realize it's actually the real world. Fast food is the cheapest option in most neighborhoods. Avocados do rot faster than plastic wrap burgers, and yes, corporations can own your food, even the seeds you plant. Let's play a game. Do you think there are more fast food restaurants than grocery stores in the US? If you answer fast food, you're correct. Nationally and especially in marginalized communities, fast food restaurants total over 200,000, while grocery stores in the US sits around 63,000.
Ugh, these commercials are everywhere, huh?
In the episode, we saw Gumball travel past tons of fast food places, and they always wondered why they were surrounded by so much junk food propaganda. As we know, living a healthy lifestyle is based on conditioning. So is an unhealthy one. Fast food advertising isn't just about selling burgers, it's about shaping your behavior. In the US, the average child sees over 4,000 ads a year, and 86% of them are products of high sugar, fat, and salt. These ads are carefully crafted to hijack our cravings, using bright colors, catchy jingles, and emotional hooks like family fun and nostalgia. It's a reason every big food corporation has a memorable mascot. Except you, Charlie. He knows what he did.
Some real food.
Gumball and Darwin finally get to a grocery store, but it does take them a minute. Now I want you to raise your hand if you're familiar with the terminology called a food desert. It's an area, typically low income, where residents have limited access to affordable and nutritious food, and approximately 23 million Americans live in food deserts.
That'll be $3,078.99.
Gumball and Darwin decide to eat healthy, but they can only afford one avocado, and it's funny because that's the grim reflection of reality. Healthy food is 3 times more expensive per calorie than unhealthy food. Did you know the government actually subsidizes and favors junk food ingredients? Since the US is the main contributor to crops like corn, soy, and wheat, it's basically the reason why they're the building blocks to processed food. Corn becomes high fructose corn syrup, soy becomes cheap oil, and wheat becomes ultra refined flour. Meanwhile, fruits and vegetables are called specialty crops.
Here, dude, you take first bite.
When Gumball and Darwin leave the store, the avocado rots instantly, but junk food, man, that stuff's made to outlive us all. As we know, ultra-processed foods are designed to last, but I want to put it into perspective. No shocker, but McDonald's fries and burgers have decay resistance for months, and it's all because of one main ingredient: salt. Food scientists at major companies tweak sugar, salt, and fat ratios to maximize dopamine release, and it's a phenomenon called bliss point. It's not about taste. It's about hooking you. Believe it or not, but the brain and the body can become dependent on chemicals that these foods trigger, similar to how they respond to drug or alcohol use. When you suddenly cut them out, it can lead to withdrawal-like symptoms, like being irritable, having headaches, or even bigger cravings.
Grow a whole farm with all these seeds!
Ahem.
When Gumball and Darwin try to grow their own food, a food representative shows up and burns all their plants. Again, it seems ridiculous. But companies like Monsanto, which was heavily invested in by Bill Gates, have patented genetically modified seeds and sued farmers for just saving them. In current society, farmers are basically tenants on their own land. With patented seeds, farmers must sign contracts and pay licensing fees every season.
No one should control life. No one should have that right to put patents on nature and life.
Percy Smizer, a Canadian farmer, was sued by Monsanto as they claimed that he used their patent seed, and his argument is that the seed flew onto his land by the wind. The courts did favor Monsanto, but Percy faced no fees or charges. This is what food looks like as an intellectual property: lawsuits or metaphorical fires.
Larry, you can't do this!
Sadly, I can. My boss owns the copyright for the seeds you used. I'm so sorry.
I think the funniest thing about this episode is when Darwin and Gumball realize one man owns all the food in Elmore.
Did you just say that one single guy owns every restaurant, food store, animal, vegetable, seed, and agricultural means of production in Elmore?
Yeah, Mr. Bilderberger.
Larry, I'd like a word with your manager.
Immediately, you can tell it was meant to be satire, but man, is it spot on. What if I told you that most food brands are all owned by the same company? Nestle owns over 2,000 brands, from Hot Pockets to Gerber to Kit Kats. PepsiCo owns Quaker Oats, Tropicana, Gatorade, Doritos, and the list goes on. Even the so-called healthy brands are probably owned by the most unhealthiest brands, Coca-Cola. Yeah, that organic grassroots granola bar you're eating was probably made by the same conglomerate that sells sugary cereal to kids. And this is something called brand masking. It's a tactic used to make you think that you're making a healthy and ethical choice, when in actuality you're still lining the same corporate pockets. When they arrive to the CEO lair, he turns out to be a hamburger. Gumball and Darwin proceeds to ask why the burger is poisoning the community, and he decides to break it down in commercial style. And to sum this up, he's saying people are dumb. I love how self-aware the commercial is by stating that people are too busy just to read ingredients, and not to mention,
last year our profits triple-sized.
So at our risk of heart disease.
this isn't just economics, it's actual harm. Major food companies have faced scandal after scandal after scandal. I just want to clarify that Nestle without a doubt is a twisted corporation, as their CEO was once questioned if water should be considered a human right, and this was his response.
Also Wasser ist natürlich das wichtigste Rohmaterial, das wir heute noch auf der Welt haben. Es geht darum, ob wir das normale Wasserversorgung der Bevölkerung privatisieren oder nicht.
Not to mention, they're also accused of consistently using child labor in cocoa productions, and then also pushing baby formula in developing nations despite unsafe water conditions that they cause. Tyson's Foods had dozens of workers' deaths in unsafe conditions, and was investigated for chicken with high arsenic levels. Bluebell Creameries caused a listeria outbreak that killed 3 people in 2015. They knew about the contamination and shipped it anyway. These aren't oops moments. These are byproducts of a system where profit is clearly over people. I like when they ask the CEO why is he so cruel, and he gives a pretty satire but plausible explanation.
Because I'm rich and completely disconnected from society, I will gladly burn it down in the pursuit of money. Probably because I'm inherently evil. Or my dad was a corn dog. I don't care.
Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. People are
Dumb.
By the end of the episode, Gumball and Darwin are starving. They rejected fast food, they can't afford fresh produce, and they attempt to grow their own food, but it was set on fire. So Darwin asks the realest question in the whole show.
But what are we supposed to eat if the rich keep poisoning us?
And it's not just a punchline, it's a protest. A call out of a system where hunger isn't caused by scarcity, but it's caused by control. And then Larry the cashier suggests the unthinkable. Yes, the episode ends with the eat the rich message. When the people at the top hoard the power, control the food supply, and poison the system for profit, eventually the hunger does turn back on them. So the next time you see a $1 burger and a $5 salad, don't ask why people choose wrong. Ask who's profiting from the lie and who's starving from the truth. I sincerely want to thank you for watching all the way to the end. Thank you for watching Media Munchies, and we're on the road to 30K. So maybe leave a like and subscribe, unless you're
Dumb.